everybody. Today is our last full day. And this is just, I don't know, kind of sad. My sister's here with me today. We're gonna go to Crystal Cave. So we're gonna see some cave action. I'm pretty excited. We're gonna see both sides of the cave. So we'll be able to tell you which one's the better side. Or maybe they'll both be the same. But we're gonna be taking the buses. We got the all day pass today. But yeah, we're gonna be doing that today and walk around Hamilton, maybe go to Dockyard. And just look around. So it should be pretty fun. Shadi, what's the best part of this trip so far, would you say? Besides hanging out with family.
Hit pause so I can think.
Hit pause.
I'd say relaxing at the cove yesterday.
Oh, it looks
My
beautiful.
Feet up on a rock. All I
Toes
needed
in the
was a good
sand.
book.
Yeah, no, actually, that'd be nice to do something like that today.
But the best thing is waking up to the sound of the waves.
Oh,
every morning.
yes. Yeah, it's just relaxing. It's just fun. And so we're gonna make today a really great day. Tomorrow we'll go to Horseshoe Bay. It's our thing that we keep on pushing back, but I'm determined to get to Horseshoe Bay just to look at it and to show you guys what it looks like a little bit. So, but yeah, okay, we're gonna ride the bus. On Mondays, it comes around every 15 minutes. On the weekends, it was like every 30 minutes. So this should be a little bit of a quicker experience than yesterday. Woohoo! Okay, we should have taken the 3 to Crystal Cave, but that's okay. That's fine. You live, you learn. Oh, look at all the hibiscus flowers. Let's go. And this is the famous Swizzle Inn. Apparently it's a good place to go to, which is really nice. Oh, they have a pedestrian footpath to Crystal Caves. Let's go. That's nice. Okay, so if you come here, you don't have to walk down the road. That was like my biggest beef. Bailey's ice cream's also a nice place to do. So yeah, so that's kind of nice that they have like a nice little pathway for you to be able to go all the way up to Crystal Caves. I'm not sure how long it's gonna be, but we get like a little bit of a garden view. Why not? So you have 2 options when you go into caves. You have the Crystal Cave and you have Fantasy Cave. And you can buy like 2 for, what was it, 35? 2 for 35, I think. 2 for 35, or you can do 1 for 25. Oh wow, look at that. Whoa, look at this tree. Those were the plants I was trying to find. You used to be able to squeeze them and they would pop. I always failed at it, but once in a while you get a good one, you squeeze it and it goes, random thing. So you buy tickets right down there. Okay, let's look at the tickets. Oop. Yeah, I'm good. Hello. Ooh, the Fantasy Cave.
One of the pink and white striped tent downstairs. There's this man here on.
Okay.
I do need one of you to bring this paper ticket back to the window. You will swap it out for 2 new wristbands for your second cave tour. You guys
Okay.
enjoy, okay?
Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
We have to be down there in 2 minutes, he said. Okay, slippery when wet. I just learned that because I definitely just slipped. So we're gonna do Fantasy first. So I don't know if I've done the Fantasy Cave yet.
Wait, we do have a bit of a walk around the corner to get to our fancy cave. So you're wearing that tail number 2? Follow me this way.
Mom, come up here.
So I'll tell you guys, these steps are a little bit steeper than the Crystal Cave. All right, so I'm just gonna warn you about taking your time, holding onto these handrails. You are allowed to take photos throughout the tour, but it's probably not too smart to take your photos while you go down the steps. You guys need to leave any bags or belongings. We do have some lovely lockers there in the corner you can use. It's entirely up to you. You can take them down with you if you'd like. But just once you guys have done that, simply follow me down, but take your time. Yeah, same way. Yeah, yeah. All right, take your time, you guys.
Oh, jeez.
I remember the other side. I remember this side.
Wow.
Coming down.
Wow. I mean, look at this. This is so remarkable. This is nice. Again, this is the fantasy cave. Oh, look at that. That's kind of eerie. Just keeps on going.
Strictly house site. No, well, the last person to ever use that boat was a very special lady back in 2009. You might know her. Her name is Beyonce. Yes, she came here to the island to do a concert with Alicia Keys, actually. But Alicia Keys didn't come to the caves. But Beyonce rented out both of our caves for the entire day.
And she got in that boat.
She was able to do whatever she wanted. So
Wow.
She got on that boat. She did a little photo shoot out in the water here. She did hop on the same boat in the Crystal Cave as well, but there's not as much water area for her to paddle around, so they figured this would be the best spot. So yeah, 2009, she came down here and had the cave all to herself. The only person to ever rent out both of our caves for the entire day.
What's that rate?
I don't even want to know. Yeah, because I'm sure she came during our busy season, which is summertime, and nowadays with how busy we get, we actually don't even offer private tours to anybody. The only person I've heard of in the last 5 years was Bill Gates actually came. He
Wow.
only rented it for an hour.
Dang.
So Beyonce's a very special lady. And that's why no one else gets on those boats.
Oh.
Welcome, of course, to our fantasy cave. This was the second cave found on the island after our very own Crystal Cave. It was 2 years later, so it was in 1909. It was found by a different gentleman. His name was Arthur Haycock, but how he found the cave does rely heavily on the water that's here in the cave system. So those of you guys come from Crystal Cave, you already know this water here, brackish water, does mostly come in from the ocean. And so the tide does fluctuate 3 feet every 6 hours. So what was happening above? Mr. Haycock was simply burning his trees and his debris in his backyard. So he noticed that the smoke was not rising, it was going back into the ground. If you imagine the water, as it gets pushed out to sea, is then sucking the smoke through that same tight gap that we came down today. So we still use the original hall found in 1909. Of course, Mr. Haycock wanted to open it up, show it off to the public. That was later on in 1911, after, of course, they built the steps to get down here. If you look at the steps we just climbed down, you can still see the original steps just on the bottom right here, and they would have come down to a little wooden dock where they would have done boat tours. So we leave a boat down here now to simply demonstrate. Now those boat tours did last all the way till 1941. I'm sure a lot of you are aware 1941 was around the World War period. So of course we were not getting as many tourists here on the island. Unfortunately, Mr. Haycock eventually sold the cave to the Wilkinson family, and the Wilkinson family ended up realizing they couldn't afford to keep both caves up and running. They decided to shut this cave down, and it wasn't later reopened with this nice walkway that we get to use today until 2001. So the cave was shut for 60 years. And it is a very unique cave. It is different to our crystal, but it's a lot different to any other limestone cave that you'll probably see around the world. The first thing I have to point out for you guys is just up here on the ceiling. So if you look all across the surface of the ceiling here, and you look at the structure that kind of looks like a beehive, all of this is called popcorn effect. The reason it only occurs down here in the fantasy cave is because of that humidity. I'm sure you guys are feeling it all. It's quite warm for a cave, right? So what happens with that moisture in the air? It ends up sticking to the surface of the ceiling, also sticking to the stalactites, and just eventually causes this popcorn effect. But what's cool that happens after that, from each individual popcorn, you get a stalactite growing off of it, which is how we get our majestic chandelier structures, we call them. So once you guys just make your way over onto that side of the cave, look directly above you, you get a great view of those chandeliers. But if you imagine, because of the rare humid conditions we have down here, you probably will not see these chandeliers in any other limestone cave around the world. So you definitely want to get a photo of those. But then the last thing I'll just point out for you guys at the back of the cave here is this orange coloring, which those of you guys coming from Crystal, you might have seen this down in the Crystal Cave. It's just a lot more vibrant down here. This orange coloring is due to iron oxide minerals in the soil above us. So that does seep down with the rain, staining the limestone this orange color. But if you follow my light over to the left here, those iron oxide minerals eventually get into the stalactites. I like to call these Cheetos or cheese puffs, your preference, I don't mind. But you do often only find these guys down here as well in the fantasy cave, all right? But if you guys follow me onto the left-hand side, I'll show you guys what's over here. Take your time on this path, it's a little slippery. This sample rock. No, because this one doesn't connect directly to the ocean. So a fish would have to go through Crystal Cave, through another quarter-mile long tunnel, just to get over here.
Dang.
The fish goes to the quarter, the eel goes to the quarter of the mile tunnel.
Maybe he does.
Fish.
Yeah. Maybe he just likes it down here. There is down here. See all that green? Yeah, either he's become a vegetarian, or maybe there's some very small creatures at the deepest parts of the cave. You know how deep this cave goes through at the back? 60 feet down here. Oh, yes, it's 90 in the crystal. So maybe there's fish down there he's feeding off. Or little crow. Very small crow. Alright? But yes, if you guys would like to start making your way back up, and there is nice rest stops on your right.
Okay, I made it. Now that's a doozy of a 88 steps going back up. Okay, so now we're about to do the Crystal Cave. And so Crystal Cave is a little bit easier because I've done that one a couple times. So we'll see how this one goes. This is the one we're about to go into. It looks so epic.
We do have one way in, one way out, 83 steps down.
Woo. Let's go.
What you guys are gonna do for me? Head to the bottom of this ramp, but don't go down the steps. I'll meet you right there in just a second. Okay?
Oh, this one's nice. Okay, get that one little shot going down.
Yeah. No, before you out, technically. I do have a very important story to tell you all, because the Crystal Cave here was the first cave discovered on the island. So that was back in 1907. Of course, it was discovered by two 13-year-old boys, you know who else, and their names were Carl and Edgar, very famous boys here on the island. So they were just playing cricket in their backyard one day. Carl hit their ball into the trees, so of course he went to go look for it. Now, he couldn't find the cricket ball, but he did stumble upon this massive sinkhole. The two boys then came to the conclusion their ball must have gone down this sinkhole. Now, thankfully, we didn't have to use that original sinkhole today, because that original sinkhole does still lie 120 feet above that gap that you guys see up there. All right, so I'll make sure on our way back out, you guys, to show you, you still get a glimpse of lights coming from that original sinkhole, so you can see exactly where these two boys climbed down from. So thankfully, these boys were smart enough at least to go home first, grab all the rope they could find, right? Once they came back with this rope, they tied it off to a cedar tree and began to rappel all the way down here, landing in the water in pitch black darkness. And believe it or not, they were still determined to find this cricket ball. So they ended up spending 2 more hours swimming around the water looking for this very special cricket ball. But obviously in pitch black darkness, they were not very successful. So I do still believe there's a very valuable cricket ball lying somewhere. If you know what a cricket ball looks like, just keep your eyes peeled.
It's gonna be worth a lot of money.
Oh yeah. They say if you find it, you're the rightful owner to the cave. Yes. So once they made their way out of the cave, of course they told their parents. Their father, of course, came back down with a little kerosene lantern. So he technically made this amazing cave discovery. But unfortunately, he later found out the cave is underneath the neighbor's property, the Wilkinson family. So the Wilkinsons turned out to be the rightful owners, and they do still own the caves to this day. So they then decided to open it up a year later. In 1908, the first tours began. However, there was no tour guides like myself, and you would have to use that original entrance. So you climb down a long wooden ladder, a little wooden dock where you guys are standing here today, and then those tours would continue by one of those boats that you guys see beneath you. So we do leave a boat there now just to simply demonstrate, okay, we are not using that today, I do apologize, but I will say that those were some very lucky tourists, because back in those days, we didn't know the geology of our beautiful cave. So as they were paddling across the water, they were also allowed to cut off our stalactites to take home as their very own souvenirs. So that's why you are going to see a lot of these flat bottom ones around the edge of the cave today. But thankfully that didn't last too long, because Mr. Wilkinson was a smart gentleman, so he quickly realized that's not a very efficient way of getting tours down here. He decided in 1912 to take some dynamite, blow up that tunnel that we came down today. It did take him 2 years to dig it all out, build the steps, build the dock, and so eventually in 1914, we started the first guided tours. And the first two tour guides were none other than Carl and Edgar themselves, 13-year-old boys that found this cave. So they did get some lucky jobs after making this amazing discovery. Okay, so now we are going to make our way along the bridge. I'm just going to warn some of you taller folks to please mind your heads because these are some very dense structures. Trust me, they will do more damage to you than you will to them. Unfortunately, I've experienced that firsthand. It's also very important to hold on to your belongings because if you do drop anything in that water, I will not be jumping in that, so go save it, okay? But follow me to the back, I'll give you guys some more information.
Like, this one's definitely the more beautiful one out of all of them. This one's definitely not as humid as the other one. No. Like, this one feels way better.
Although, with this one actually being more confined,
Yeah.
when it is summertime, we have a lot of bodies. When you're back here, especially, you can reach also 100%.
Really?
humidity.
Oh, dang.
Oh, it just depends on the bodies. So, you guys, the first thing I'll have to show you lies right beneath us, down in the water, where we have a nice growing collection of cell phones and sunglasses. So, all right. So the reason all these belongings stay here at the bottom is because right here where my light is pointing, believe it or not, is 40 feet deep. 40. Yeah, it doesn't look like that, does it? No. So that is because this is brackish water, so the mix of salt and fresh, and because salt water is denser than fresh, it actually causes these layers to form. So we'll go 2 inches on the top, it stays fresh, 8 to 12 feet in the middle is that brackish water mix, and then all the water beneath that stays salt. So with these layers of water and how crystal clear we keep it, it simply creates this magnifying effect. So that's why the bottom looks a lot closer than it actually is. Temperature actually stays 70 degrees Fahrenheit all year round.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So it depends on where you're coming from, but I would tell you it's, yeah, I tell you it's, yeah. Right, the deepest part is down here in the corner where it drops off to 90 feet deep.
Wow.
But you probably won't be able to see the bottom down there. And more importantly, in the corner of the cave there is where we have a half-a-mile long tunnel connecting to the castle harbor. So that's just the body of water surrounding our airport, and that one tunnel is how all the salt water gets into our crystal cave. And it will then continue on to the other side, where you see underneath that ledge, you might be able to see that tunnel over there. But that tunnel goes a quarter of a mile onto our fantasy cave, right? So fantasy cave doesn't have direct access to the ocean, so it does rely solely on that tunnel in order to get the water next door. So we did bring down some very brave gentlemen from Texas A&M about 30 years ago to go through all the underwater tunnels, and they actually found 24 tunnels surrounding this cave. But most of them were dead ends, and they did tell us when swimming through a lot of these tunnels, they did have to take their scuba gear off and push it out in front just to squeeze through. So that is obviously why no one has been down since, right?
So no, like wildlife fishes like
Sea
sharks
life?
come
Sorry.
So I've been here for 3 years. I've only seen once a green more a year, actually.
Okay.
So it's very, very
Sorry.
rare. So it was very good. Yeah. So it took the attention off my whole tour. Of course, everyone was standing here just watching this and it was swimming around. But the reason they don't survive down here, of course, look around the cave, you see there's this green algae growth. This is simply because of our lights. So okay. I will tell you, I'm gonna turn off those dark lights where we began. So if you face that way in the corner, you're gonna see a little bit of light. If you want the same experience before,
You're about to turn off the lights.
you wanna face the back of the cave. Okay, up to you. Choose wisely who you're standing next to, alright? One. In shapes, so you guys are gonna confirm if I'm going crazy or not. But if we look back across the water, in the reflection, we have the New York skyline.
Oh my Look at it.
Oh
And we live in Jersey, so we can.
Oh yeah.
We know yeah. That's like Manhattan.
Okay, that's the Toronto skylight right there.
Yeah. It's all a reflection of those stalactites on the ceiling. Then if we actually stay in New York, move over to the left here, we do have our very own Statue of Liberty. As I believe here, we have a dinosaur that got stuck down here millions of years ago.
Yeah, I see the head,
The mouth, spines going up the back. Here's what I like to call The romantic ones. Yeah. There we go. These get some very cool. Yeah. If you swam in it, it'd be just like swimming in the ocean.
Oh, the fresh air.
Lean against it.
Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, whoa.
So you guys, you want, you can lean against this structure here, lean against it, look straight up, and just, right?
Whew. Here's a lot of the steps. Light at the end of the tunnel. Literally. Okay, another lot of steps, but we made it. I would say both are great to explore. Each one, Fantasy has a little bit more, what you guys have seen, a little bit more of a layout, and so it kind of feels pretty chill, and you can kind of walk around. I think you get more of a grand feel as far as like how tall it is. Crystal Cave is cool because you can get right close to the stalagmites or stalactites. Not sure which one it was, but you can get really close with them. And that's what makes it kind of a cool experience, you know? Especially when they turn off the lights and make everything look really cool. So either way, I mean, $35, it's worth it. I think it's something cool to see. Oh, this is nice. People walking around, hanging out, just doing their thing. This is the Bermuda I remember. Oh, look at this. I missed this part of the mall yesterday. Oh, here we go. Here's a little map of what you can see within the mall. Okay, I'm a sucker for little pathways like this. Like, this is just so cool, especially that people are actually in town. So Sundays are dead. I mean, well, we can, I guess, assume that it is, but Sundays are dead, and then the rest of the days are kind of nice. I think there's a coffee shop in this area. Ooh, wasabi, maybe sushi. That looks good. Oh, Marks and Spencer. Okay, some sports places. Oh, this leads next to the library. There used to be a toy store in here somewhere that literally was like my highlight. I don't know if it was in there. Not in there today. There's a smoothie store. Oh, I think this is the place, guys, where you can get like a, the fish tuna melt place. Oh my gosh, I think this is it. Oh, this is where I want to eat. Okay, let's go back to my sister. Yeah, so that place, the sandwich place, is where I had my first tuna melt, and I fell in love with it. So we're gonna go back there. Okay, this is more lively than what it was yesterday. Oh, this is cool. Hello. Hey. Wow, that was cool. Okay, lesson learned. Sundays are dead and not as lively, but regular days are way more lively. So if you're coming down to Hamilton, come during the day or come during the weekday. Ooh, they have a candy place. Yeah, this is totally more lively than what it was on Sunday. Yeah, I think it was just so gloomy on that day. That's probably like one of the main reasons why. Okay, here's the place. I'm hoping it's exactly like what it was to be. Okay, already this place is looking so great. Wow. This is awesome. So review, the tuna and fish melt was pretty good. Like, it was really tasty. I think they had a special bread back in the day that it was this, I don't know what it was. It's almost like a pretzel bread, but not pretzel bread. That made it even better. It was still great, good amount of like tuna fish, like just, it was perfect, warm all the way through. And then the coffee roll was definitely the winner. And the tuna melt was pretty good, but good service, very friendly people. I don't know, just really awesome. So good experience. A little bit different from what the coffee place. The other coffee place, I think it was still great. It had the feel, the vibe of everything, but it just had to wait 40 minutes for my sandwich. Like that. So that was like a rough part, but pretty good. So right now we're gonna just kind of walk around, maybe look for some more stuff around downtown. Now that it's alive, maybe we'll see some other cool things. So there was one more thing I wanted to do while I was downtown, was to take a picture of the library. And the library is not too crazy. It just, I don't know, for some reason I always just used to like looking at it, and it's pretty cool. And so we're gonna go there real quick and just take a picture of it. And I don't know if that was the Phoenix or, oh no, Phoenix. Is that still there? Yes. So that's where we used to get toys as kids. Like when we went there and we went down the, what do you call it? When we went down the escalator, we knew it was like, this is epic. Okay, so this is the library. It's not a museum now, I believe. But man, it's closed right now. But there's used to be like a little museum in here that we were able to walk around last time. And so I'm kind of sad. But a cool little building nonetheless. Okay, so for old time's sake, we're gonna go to look at the toys. So I don't know if they're under like new ownership anymore, but I remember seeing this little clock tower. And then you would go in. Let's see if I can pull some memories on. I go left, and we go right. Excuse me. The toys, let's go, the toys. My Aunt Pam once got me a K'NEX like propeller plane. Best thing ever. I'm pretty sure I wrecked it at some level, but it was the best. Oh my gosh, see, look, as a kid, this would be phenomenal. So many toys, so many things to do. I want to see if they have Catan. Oh no, there it is, look at it. Catan. Catan is such a fun game. All the Lego sets, oh my gosh. Yeah, so a little fun little memory lane. We used to come out here, but a little side detour. All right, childhood tourism right here. We used to go to this store all the time to see what stuff they have. And if you're coming to Bermuda, then, oh, I have that shirt. Man, I've gotten so many people gifts from the store. Not a lot of people, but, oh, they had the pink sand. Let's see how much they have it for. Yeah, me and my lavender candies. How much are they selling it for? Oh, $6.95. You can go up Dockyard and get it for cheaper. Oh, these games are the best. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, this would be perfect for Mom.
Look at this game. This brings you back.
Oh, I remember this.
Okay, here's the guy. I brought a couple of his portraits. What's his name? Graham Foster. That's who it is. Oh, I had that picture right there. Everyone happened to it. Yeah, they have tons of stuff. Downstairs and upstairs. Okay, you know I have to do it. That is so annoying. Oh my gosh, that's so bad.
If it's gonna be this material, it has to be like that.
We're back on the main strip, and it's definitely a whole lot more lively than it was before. So I'll give it that. Bermudian, what boat is that? I know, but like, what is it, a ferry? So confused on what boat that is. All right, well, next time I'm here, I'll try to keep that in mind. It's funny because you start seeing the same tourists, especially during this time of year. You see the same tourists in so many different places because there's not many tourists coming in December. And so it's just always funny to see, like, I'm like, oh, I saw them earlier, or I saw them on that day, or, oh, we took the same bus together. So just funny how winter versus normal summer. Okay, everybody. Well, we're pretty much done today. This is pretty much, we're gonna hang out with some family, chillax, eat some dinner, and then pack up. Because tomorrow will be our last day because we'll be flying out. But we leave a little bit later, so we hope to get to Horseshoe Bay. That is the hope. That is the dream. I kind of see myself. I haven't been down there so long. It's really nice. And then we'll go from there. There's no way I can fit in these seats.
You see it, you want to you can get between $17 and $5 more expensive, but it's completely. Yeah, same journey, guys. Tomorrow. I'll check it out tonight.
All right. Thanks for watching all the way through. And here are some other videos that you can check out while you're here. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next adventure.